today. So, so far in the last class, what all did we study? We studied about current carrying by a straight conductor. So some of your confusions, conductor, whichever way it is straight, they will mention which is the conductor part. It does not need to be a wire. It can be a bar of aluminum also. So wherever the current is going in that direction, the right hand thumb rule in magnetism, do not confuse between. It's a right hand thumb rule. Don't put the left hand. Pura ulta ho jayega. See, right hand, it turns this side. Left hand, it turns this side. So it's a right hand thumb rule. After that, you saw magnetic field due to a current carrying loop. In the loop also, what do we see? Both ends of the loop behave like straight lines. So there also the right hand thumb rule works, or the corkscrew rule works. Then what did you learn? You learned about magnetic field. Then you learned the clock face rule. If you see clockwise from the side you are seeing the loop, CWS, so it's south pole, the other side will be north pole. Then we learned about magnetic field due to a current carrying solenoid. You understood what is a solenoid. So far the story we know is that if you have a solenoid and you put a soft iron, which is called the core material inside it, you can develop it into an electromagnet. And the magnetization depends upon the number of turns. Smaller the radius and the number of turns are large, smaller the radius, intensity of the current, and also depends upon the core material. And if you have a magnet which is like a horseshoe magnet, then the length of the air gap between the two poles. So how do we say? Greater the current, more is the magnetization, right? Number one. Lesser should be the radius, more is the magnetization. More number of turns, more is the magnetization. Lesser is the air gap. That's only for horseshoe magnets. Then more is the magnetization. And if you change the direction of the current, the magnetization's polarity also changes. Okay, itna hum pad chuke the. And a common kiddo question at this level, distinguish between permanent magnets and bar magnets. Now, our story today is the force. What we are going to learn today is force experience. And this is just like two cut pieces of strawberry which you'll learn. This will be almost a chapter in your grade 12. Force experienced by a current carrying, instead of wire, I'm now using the word conductor, placed in a magnetic field. हाई-फाई चीज है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. आसान भाषा में पहले इसको देखते हैं. See, in simple language you will understand very nicely. Force experienced by a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field. Right? See how nicely you will understand this. You forget this word current carrying conductor and you think what? Hungry boy. Hungry boy. Girl भी हो सकता था. Placed in a magnetic field. But hungry boy, but इसको ब्रैकेट में ये डाल दो. Foodie है ये. And this is somebody like me, and this is sweet shop. Just forget these two lines and now read with the yellow. Force experienced by a hungry foodie boy placed near a sweet shop. होगा ना? It will be. What type of force? Attractive. लेकिन अगर सड़ा हुआ खाना रहेगा तो repulsive. So that force concept is nothing new. If you bring a hungry boy near a sweet shop, the hungry boy is going to feel something. Now let us put it into our practice before going more deep into it. Okay. Current carrying conductor. इसको मैं लिखता हूं magnet. Is it not a magnet? Every current carrying conductor is a magnet. We have learned that. A current carrying conductor, Oster's experiment, current carrying. Magnet placed in another magnetic field. 100%. This is one magnet. And you bring another magnet near it. Will this magnet not face a experience of force? Obviously. ये बच्चा लोग नहीं समझता है simple line में. So don't you think a current carrying conductor should face? Only thing is we have changed the name. Current carrying conductor means भुक्कड़ बच्चा, which is equivalent to a magnet. Placed in a magnetic field. अब इसको in a की जगह पे यहाँ पे लिख देता हूँ external magnetic field. Means this magnetic field will already exist. Who will create it? Maybe some natural magnet, or maybe a permanent magnet, correct? Or maybe an electromagnet also. and this will be our current carrying conductor, which will, once it carries current, it is also a magnet, and this in another magnetic field. अब इस पे force आएगा कि नहीं आएगा. This is the basic of any motors and all these things. Electric motor or all these things have been taken away from your chapter. So as a electrical enthusiast, I lose the interest from this portion in this chapter because everything has been cut away. But just for you to understand, you have a motor, you have basically a magnet. पुराने जो toy motors होते हैं ना, you can put a screwdriver, you'll see it attracts. But a mixie also has a motor, but the mixie will not attract any wire because the mixie needs a powerful magnet. So it's an electromagnet, and current flows through a conductor, so it experiences a force, and that force is so designed that that force keeps on nothing to rotate. वो part अभी है नहीं, अगर time लगेगा पढ़ेंगे. इसको देखते हैं. We see this now with a small setup. Okay, let's see a small setup. How current carrying wire behaves like a magnet. So this is just to understand. Let's see this setup. So let's say I have a setup something like this. So I have a stand, all right, and on this stand I have something like a S hook. Do you know S hook? Necklace के पीछे जो रहता है S hook, the ones which are behind necklace, S hook. Okay, and in this portion what I do, I take a piece of conductor, and this conductor is also connected with here with the S sort of a support. Are you able to understand? This becomes like that, a bar which can हिलडुल कर सकता है, something like this with the S hook, so it can rotate in this manner, right? What I do apart from this is that I take a crucible or a flat saucepan sort of a thing, flat pan, and so there's a flat pan out here, right? And this flat pan is filled with something called mercury. Sir, why mercury? Why mercury? Any idea? Why mercury? इतना नहीं बोल पाओगे तो competency based question answer कैसे करोगे बच्चा? Why mercury? Don't Google. Why mercury on Earth? अरे mercury is the only liquid which is a good conductor of electricity. ऐसे उड़ू आवाज करके बोलने से कैसे होगा? ऐसे गुड 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 सही है. Hey, who's Tejas? Tejas, turn off your microphone. Okay. Right. Now we will complete the external circuit. Okay. So what we do? Sorry. We धीरे धीरे करोगे तो आपको समझ में आएगा. So this and let's see. Have you understood now how this circuit is behaving? There is a cell and you have a switch out here, right? So if you turn it on, the current should flow in this direction. Hannah, don't you agree? And then the current flows in this direction, it comes back in this direction. Okay. Try and understand. If I turn it on, then this conductor, current flows through this conductor. Easy to understand? Okay. Current flows through this conductor. And if current flows through this conductor, as per what we have studied, this should behave like a magnet. Now what I do, the topic is all about force experienced by a current carrying conductor current carrying conductor, already done, placed in an external magnetic field. So what I do, I also try to place an external magnetic field with the help of what is called a horseshoe magnet. Let's say in this manner, there is a horseshoe magnet.
Any specific reason why you took horseshoe magnet?
थोड़ा better रहता है ना intensity. ठीक है, I've kept an external magnet. So now we can study this. This is our external magnetic field. Right, and obviously one will be a north pole and one will be a south pole. You need not break your head on that. And as soon as you turn it on, this becomes my current carrying conductor. Now see how beautiful this thing will happen. क्या होगा बोलो तो? Once you turn this switch on, this conductor, immediately what happens? It is first dipped into mercury. So the circuit is complete, right? As soon as you turn the switch on, the circuit is complete. Current starts to flow through this conductor. Conductor becomes a magnet. And it senses the external magnet. Either attraction will happen or repulsion will happen. So what I will expect out here is that, I mean, this is something theoretically I'm saying, this magnet tak karke aise deflect out ho jayega. Okay, this magnet will deflect out. Either this side will pull it, or you can say, sir, how do you know it will deflect out? देखिए इस side ने तो इस side होगा, दो में से एक side तो होगा. Once it goes this side, the circuit is broken, and then it says, मैं यहाँ क्यों आया? वो तो डिमैग्नेटाइज हो गया ना, तो वो टक करके यहाँ आके लग जाता है, आई मैं फिर मैग्नेटाइज हो गया, ये टक 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 ऑक्सीलेट करना शुरू कर देता है. Are you getting the idea? It's very interesting. In fact, with magnetism, you can do so many things. Small copper wire cell and one battery, you can make the copper wire rotate. These are the basics of how that, these are the basics which make you understand that you are going to experience a force. अब मोटर कैसे घूमता है? Please first understand. This is a force. This is force. A force, in order to rotate something, has to create something called a torque. Now, that's what you have not learned. The bad thing is that that's what you have not. You have something called force. Force is the push or pull. आपको किसी चीज को घुमाना है, तो आप कैसे घुमाएंगे? This is your spanner. कैसे घुमाते हो? फोर्स यहाँ पे देते हो और यहाँ पे नट लगा हुआ रहता है ना? So this is your pivot. This much portion is called your arm, or we call it the moment arm. This is not there in your syllabus, but try to understand. A force multiplied by the moment arm will give you the torque. अब जब force यहाँ पे घूमेगा तो ये wrench घूमना शुरू करेगा. Once you have a force, you can create a moment arm. So this whole conductor inside the motor is designed in such a way that it starts to feel the torque, and that torque rotates your motor. ठीक है? So what did you understand from this experiment? What you should write is, any conductor, current carrying conductor placed in an external magnetic field. Now the question that you expect in board this time won't be something that they will tell you, does a current carrying conductor draw a neat label diagram to show that a current, ऐसे question तो मैं expect ही नहीं करता हूँ, नहीं आएगा. Draw a neat label, वो पहले आते थे. इस बार आपको ऐसा एक setup और a similar setup बना देगा. हो सकता है एक छोटा सा parrot, aluminium parrot बना दे यहाँ पे, and the wings flutter this side. It's all competency based. Everything comes from this topic. So when we revise, children, okay, I'm just deviating a bit before. After this section, when you start revising, please open your NCERT book and take your heading. What is the heading? Heading is Magnetic Lines of Force. And open your Lakshmi Singh Manjit Kaur. If this is say a heading H1, I'm saying this book will have more. This is a bigger, this book is a greater book. Open H1 out here. Read line by line of H1 out there. You may H1 means you're understanding this topic, this topic. This may have many topics which are not there here. Your exam will be on this book, the syllabus of this book. So please be very careful what you are studying. And this I'm telling you for every subject that you might be studying. Your exam will be on this. The topic is H1. Learn the topic H1 in detail from Lakbir Singh Manjit Kaur. Go back to your NCERT and just skim. क्या NCERT में कुछ ऐसा था जो उसने टच नहीं किया? 99.99999 you will read more. That is required because you are not going to get a question which came in 2022. 50% of your paper will be competency based. अगर आप इस चीज को नहीं समझते हैं तो इससे घुमा के कोई question, they'll just give you a case study that a bird starts flapping her wings. I can also design it. Why does the bird flap the wing? The wing is made up of aluminum. It gets electricity flows through it, becomes a magnet, and so it starts flapping. How to make a flapping toy? अब इससे आप flapping toy बना सकते हो. देखो ऐसे करेगा तो it gets disconnected, so it again goes back. ऐसा type question भी हो सकता है. आता कहाँ से है? यहाँ से है. So make this. After this, go here and there will be MCQ questions. Target every MCQ questions of this H1 topic. Have you understood or not? Short answer question, long answer. Topic has to be understood. You don't know how the question will come. Question इसके base के आएगा पर ये नहीं आएगा. They will not ask you draw a neat level diagram. So what do we understand from here? So far we have understood that any current carrying conductor behaves like a magnet. If one magnet is brought in the vicinity of another magnet, then there will always be a force. The force can be a force of repulsion or a force of attraction, right? Now, we are human beings. Ours, and think like a scientist. Our job is what? हाँ, force है इसको. अच्छा, इस force को कैसे बढ़ाया जा सकता है? या तो इस magnet को strong करो, या इस magnet को strong करो. Stronger magnets will have more attraction or more repulsion. अच्छा, ये इस तरफ गया. I wanted to go this side. इसको reverse कर दो. या फिर इसको खोल के reverse कर दो. एक ही बात है. See, so many things. You have to understand like this. I said that arbitrarily it went on the right side. Sir, I want this to go on the left side on the first thing. Good. Change it. Or you change this polarity. Sometimes they may say, what are the two options? One is this. You can also change this. ठीक है? या तो वो बच्चा जो आए उसके मुंह में इतना खराब टेस्ट कर दो कि खाना खाए नहीं चला जाए, या रेस्टोरेंट इतना गंदा स्वीट्स बनाए कि बच्चा नहीं खाए. That can also be done. Got it? Now second thing, how to make it stronger? By having more number of turns. Electromagnet has to be stronger, so you learn your first part. Now the second part that we need to understand here is that once we have understood that there is a force, we can increase the force. Increase the force by increasing magnetization. Our next topic is to understand what will be the direction of the force. And that is the most crucial part of this chapter. So revising this once again, what did we understand? A current carrying conductor behaves like a magnet. If the current carrying conductor is placed in any external magnetic field, this external magnetic field can be created by a permanent magnet, or this can be created by another electromagnet also. Got it? Then this behaves like a magnet, so there will be a force experienced by this. So you may ask, sir, why does this not experience a force? ये हल्का है ना, इसको fix कर दो. Let's fix this one. Okay, let's fix this. Then who will experience the force? This one. Your refrigerator body is fixed. That's why the door experiences the force. अगर इसको fix कर देता तो ये वाला एक ही बात है. Have we understood everything on this? Behaves like a magnet. And the direction of this force can be changed, but we will learn. Our next topic is all about the direction. Are we ready? ठीक है, तो ये समझ में आ गया. Right. चलिए अब next topic समझते हैं, that the direction, because if this can be understood by human beings, then they have another new finding, that they can create a force. They know the direction of the force. They can increase the intensity, decrease, that we know. But once you know the direction, then you can make it again a slave. And then you can introduce a torque. For a force, we can always introduce a torque. एक जगह पे बांधो और एक जगह फोर्स लगाओ, बस घूमना स्टार्ट कर जाएगा. सो डायरेक्शन ऑफ फोर्स experienced by current carrying conductor placed in an external magnetic field. Actually, you know what you're going to study even in grade 12. Grade 12, there will be a topic called two current carrying wires will be kept parallel. Even then there will be force. This is a current carrying wire magnet. This is also a current carrying wire magnet. So between two current carrying wires also there will be a force they will experience. Again, they will see how you can reverse the current and what is the impact on the force. इसलिए 3-4 wires के signals को plus every line which is carrying a current, it will have a magnetic interference. That's why in modern day wirings we will never have electrical lines and internet lines going together. There will be interference in your signal, 100%. Okay, now how to find this direction? So let's see what were our inputs for this system. What were our inputs? Our inputs were an external magnetic field. है ना, ये हमने दिया था. This is will represented, magnetic field is always represented by B. This was our input number 2. What is our input? Input number 3. Then we have the current in the conductor. This is I. And you know what is our quest? Our quest is number 1, all about the force. That is basically the direction. इसको हम बोलेंगे F. और इसी ऑर्डर में याद रखिए FBI. ठीक है, FBI. Now this force always acts perpendicular to the length of the conductor. In higher physics, when you go in higher classes, you will understand that length can also be taken as a vector. So suppose this is, and how do we take it as a vector? Suppose this is the length of the conductor L, ठीक है ना, ये length है और current इस दिशा में जा रहा है. So this is the length. The force will act perpendicular to the length of the conductor. The force always acts perpendicular to the length of the conductor. ठीक है? And this force, and वो चीजें आपको चबा लेना पड़ेगा, is maximum when current I is perpendicular to the magnetic field. Please understand. इतना hard नहीं है, समझिए. This is a current carrying conductor. The force always acts perpendicular to the conductor, either this way, or can be this way, or can be sidewards, or can be this way. It will always be perpendicular. And it says that the force is maximum when the magnetic field and the current are perpendicular to each other. Wow. Current is flowing through where? Through the conductor. Our force was perpendicular to the conductor. Yeah. And for maximum force, current should be perpendicular to magnetic field. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? तीनों एक दूसरे के perpendicular होने पड़ेंगे. That means if I is perpendicular to B, then F is always perpendicular to conductor. Do you agree or not? But in that case, my F will be F max. This is my maximum force. F max is perpendicular to conductor. I can say it is perpendicular to current also. Conductor बोले ही तो current ना, इधर ही तो current जा रहा है. That means, can I not say that FBI, F max, BI are mutually perpendicular? If the force has to be max force, then B and I are perpendicular, and F is always perpendicular to I. That means they are all mutually perpendicular, and that can happen only in a 3D axis system. और बोलो तो और कोई system है where three things can be perpendicular to each other? No. Did you understand the beauty? In greater classes, you will study that this force is given by an expression called I cross DL. DL means length. And cross product is what? I into DL into sine theta. What is the maximum value of sine theta? 1. For sine theta to be 1, what should be theta? 90 degree. वहीं से ये आता है. ठीक है, ये आप 12 में पढ़ेंगे. तो अभी हमने क्या पढ़ा? Our job was that we understood a current carrying wire behaves like a magnet. If the current carrying wire or the conductor is placed in an external magnetic field, it experiences a force. As human beings, now we know how to change the magnitude of this force. But we should know the force will be acting on which direction. तभी ना हम उसे गुलाम की तरह यूज कर सकते हैं. To understand that, we need to understand that force depends on what. So the two inputs that we have are the external magnetic field and the current. And our quest is all about the force. So they formed a three system called FBI: force, magnetic field, and current. The force is maximum when the current is perpendicular to the magnetic field, and the force is always perpendicular to the magnetic field. Force is perpendicular to magnetic field. Magnetic field is perpendicular to current. Then three of us are perpendicular to each other. Has to be. So that is represented by a 3D axis. And to understand this in a better manner, comes what is known as Fleming's. पहले राइट हैंड भी था, अभी तो है ही नहीं, लेफ्ट हैंड रूल. अगर आपने इतना समझा है तो ही लेफ्ट हैंड रूल समझाएंगे. ये चीज समझ में आया? क्या ढूंढने निकले हो? फोर्स नहीं, फोर्स के डायरेक्शन. फोर्स तो मिल गया है एक्सपेरिमेंट में ही. फोर्स का डायरेक्शन क्या होगा? फोर्स को पैदा किसने किया? वन करंट एंड वन मैग्नेटिक फील्ड. So we have got three actors: the force that got generated, the magnetic field that you applied externally, and the current that you were making flow in that conductor. And you got to understand now that the force becomes maximum when the current is perpendicular to the magnetic field. But the force can be minimum or less than that also. Now question arises, sir, if I make magnetic field and current at 30 degree, then what will happen? ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है. Then the force will reduce. But whatever, whether there's a reduction or an increase in force, the force is always perpendicular to the conductor. ठीक समझ में आया? इसीलिए मैं था कंडक्टर, मैं ऐसे चिटका था, या फिर मैं ऐसे चिटक सकता हूं, ऐसे भी चिटक सकता हूं, ऐसे भी, पर मैं ऊपर नीचे नहीं हो सकता हूं. I can, the force will never act along my axis. The force will always act perpendicular to me. And don't you think, if you have an axis, how many perpendiculars you have? Entire circle. Start thinking like higher grade students now. Your circle, the entire radius that you sweep on a conductor are all perpendiculars. तो ऐसा नहीं कि ये सिर्फ इधर ही जाएगा, इधर भी जा सकता है, ये भी परपेंडिकुलर, बट ये ऐसा नहीं जाएगा. ठीक है, आइए अभी फ्लेमिंग के लेफ्ट हैंड रूल को जानते हैं. ये हो गया, चैप्टर हो गया, और क्या है? आ जाओ. फ्लेमिंग्स लेफ्ट हैंड रूल. And this is a kinesthetic topic. Kinesthetic means, anybody knows the meaning of the word kinesthetic? क्या इंग्लिश पढ़ते हो फिर बात बात में? यो ब्रो. Kinesthetic. Anyone? Kinesthetics. Kinesthetics are activities which you learn by doing. Origami, paperwork, hands-on. जब आप हाथ से नहीं करेंगे आप सीखेंगे नहीं. This is verbal communication. Kinesthetic means children take it, now fold it this way. You have to do it along with me, then only you understand. Fleming's left hand rule. So in Fleming's left hand rule, all we are interested is with the thumb, right? Then the index and the middle finger. यहाँ बच्चे बहुत गड़बड़ करेंगे. ओके, थंब, द इंडेक्स एंड द मिडिल फिंगर. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल अभी एकदम पेपर छोड़ दीजिए, किताब पेंसिल सब छोड़ दो, सब छोड़ दो, सिर्फ मुझे देखो. थंब, टेक योर लेफ्ट हैंड, डोंट टेक द राइट हैंड, पूरा आंसर गलत लिखोगे फिर. टेक द लेफ्ट हैंड एंड आइडेंटिफाई योर थंब, इंडेक्स एंड मिडिल. हैव यू अंडरस्टूड? Arrange the three. You forget these two now. arrange the three that they are mutually perpendicular. अक्कियों से गोली मारे type ये. The three are mutually perpendicular now. What happened? See, you'll struggle. करो 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 कुछ नहीं, like this. Yes, but point it in this manner. All of your index finger should point towards me as if you are trying to shoot me. हाँ ऐसे. अभी समझ में आ रहा है? All of you do that. Try to point it at towards me. Don't do it with right hand. ना गलत हो जाएगा. Right hand is a different thing. Left hand is a different thing. Right? Got it? अब लिखोगे कुछ नहीं. जिस ऑर्डर में आपने पढ़ा था उसी ऑर्डर में आप लिखेंगे. जिस ऑर्डर में आपने पढ़ा था FBI. Thumb denotes force, index finger denotes magnetic field, and middle finger denotes current. Is that clear? Zoe, not like this. We are not Sadhu Babas. It's like this. Make it like this. This is the order. That's why I gave you as FBI. All you guys watch a lot of Netflix and other things, so you know what is FBI all about. They take it in the FBI format. Take it? Right? Let us now try and understand one small example. कुछ मत करो, ये लिखो मत अभी, ये रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है. आप हाँ, मैं पेन देखा हूँ 3-4 को यूज करे. Say leave the pen, leave the pen. The pen will not help you. That is experiential. You have to understand. ठीक है? अब एक example लेते हैं. देखो कैसे. Let me take a small example and try to see. This is a piece of a conductor, right? And let me say this is a piece of conductor. समझ में आया? ये तो हमारे चैप्टर में नहीं है, तो ऐसा समझाएंगे समझ में आएगा. This blue color loves haunting me, right?
Can you not disable that?
No, that doesn't get disabled. That happens on one. Let's say this is my north pole. Okay. Let's say this is an external magnetic field which has a north pole on this side and has a south pole on this side. आराम से देखिए, समझिए पहले इस चीज को, ठीक है? And let me say that this is the axis. I have taken a wire and I have made it like a circle, rectangular loop like this. Okay, this. And what I'm doing is that I am initially, what do? I initially start giving it a current such that the current is going in this direction. ठीक है? Current को ये direction में जाने देते हैं. And let the current, ऐसे तो आएगा current, ऐसे जाएगा, ऐसे आएगा. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, we are set now to draw our arrows. So let's take our arrows. Let me denote current with a white arrow. यहाँ पे draw करता हूँ, ठीक है? Okay, this is current. And for all you guys, this thing is on your desk. For me, it is on the screen. For you, it is on your desk. Do you understand? This drawing is on your desk right now. हाँ, डेस्क की तरह. हाँ, बहुत इसलिए मैं कहता हूँ ये क्लास बहुत मन से कीजिए. This is the direction of current. What is the direction of the external magnetic field? How do you identify the direction of external magnetic field? Go to the topic of magnetic lines of force. The magnetic lines of force tell you about the direction of the, and what is the direction of magnetic lines of force? Inside a magnet, it is always from north to south. वो भी देखना पड़ता है तुमको, ठीक है? So the magnetic field is now on this direction. ठीक है बच्चा? So this is my I and this is my B. So obviously this conductor should be, and just concentrate on this side. This must be experiencing a force now. And our job is to give the direction of the force. Okay? You guys do nothing. You just see how I do it. Okay. Now this was FBI, B. So what do? I take my B, FBI, and this should be rotatable. इसको आप rotate कर, पर ये orientation change मत करो. पिस्तौल पिस्तौल ही रहेगा, पर ये कैसे भी घूम सकता है, ये ओरिएंटेशन चेंज मत करो. ओके, सो बी इज नाउ पॉइंटिंग विच डायरेक्शन? B should point towards the south pole. So my B is pointing towards the south pole. You all don't do anything. Look at me. The current should point upwards. The current now is pointing downwards. तो इसको up करना पड़ेगा. Rotate it. अब चला गया. What happens? अब ऐसे हो गया है. But in my case, it is turning in this manner. Just look at me. Where is my thumb now pointing? Inside the screen. So that is the direction of the force experienced by the arm AB. So the arm AB now experiences a force. We'll do it again and again. Don't worry. It experiences a force inside. Mutually perpendicular. All these three arrows are perpendicular. I can't draw on 2D 3 perpendiculars. You have to understand. Let's see once again. This is my B. B को इस तरफ पॉइंट, सबसे पहले आदमी आसान काम करता है. यही आप जब अपने बुक में करोगे आसान हो जाएगा. Just because I'm doing on table, I have to rotate my hand. बी को मैं ऐसे लेता हूं, आसान. पर ऐसे बी को लिया तो करंट तो उल्टा हो गया. करंट को तो ऊपर जाना है, पर हाथ ऐसे थोड़ी घूम सकता है. चलो ऐसे घुमा देते हैं हाथ को. नाउ बी इज गोइंग दिस साइड, आई इज गोइंग दैट साइड. सो विच साइड डज द फोर्स गो? इनसाइड. मतलब ये अगर एक दरवाजा है आइकिया की तरह, दिस डोर इज नाउ पुशिंग इनसाइड. मजा आया? जरा हम सीडी वाले, लेट्स जस्ट हैव अ लुक एट the arm CD. CD में बहुत कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाला है. Let's look at CD now. So on CD, the current is now in which direction, beta? Downwards. Which direction is the magnetic field? Unchanged. Magnetic field is unchanged. Right? So let's write. This is I. This is B. Right? Now let's go again. So magnetic field, this is my magnetic field, it goes this side. Current किस side में है? Down है. Now the force is on outside. Wow, so beautiful. This is going inside, this is going outside. Will it rotate or not? It becomes like the door of IKEA. Yeah, so how does it rotate? It rotates in this direction.
Yeah.
So shall we give the direction of our, what do you call, shall we give the direction of the force? The force is now on this side. ये चीज घूम गया. This is not there in your syllabus, but this is the principle of a motor. Again, this arm comes here and it senses this current. पहला बार घुमा ना, बच्चे के पैडल की तरह ठक मारा तो दूसरा वाला उठ के आता है ना, दूसरा वाला को ठक लग जाता है. तो ये जब ऐसे यहाँ पे आ जाएगा, again it senses a current in this direction. It again goes and then it starts rotating. Question comes that can we rotate it in the ulta way? Change the direction of current. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's change the direction of magnetic field. They're all interesting. So this is my B. Now B, we will make it this side, right? B is on this side, and look on from this arm, for this arm. Okay, we'll repeat it many times. This arm. हमने क्या see? This arm is rotating which way? It is going inside the wall. But I want to have it come out of the wall. I don't want to disturb the current. I'll disturb the magnetic field. देखो Fleming ने कितना सुंदर चीज बनाया. So which side is my magnetic field now? This side. I is which way, beta? I is this way. Magnetic field इधर है, I is top. Where is the force? Outside. घूम जाएगा ये. How many of you understood? How many did not understand? Don't hesitate. This is the only topic you have to understand nicely. Otherwise, अभी questions इतने आसान लेवल के नहीं होते इसमें. घुमा के पूछेगा आपको. Have you understood this? Anyone who has not understood, let's repeat it once again. We will do it many times. Now you all will do with me. ठीक है? एक साथ. So the first thing we said that we have a conductor AB. Right? Inputs are only two things. An external magnetic field, right? And a current. Nothing more than that. So please draw one line on your book. Draw one, just draw AB. Just draw AB. Just draw a line AB. Nothing more than that. And mention it as AB. Zoe, one line. Not sketching. One line. Yeah, AB. No, you have a habit. Making it twice. AB, done? Right? So if you have a separate color pen with you, then you please draw the current arrow near to AB, just near to AB. draw the current arrow on your book, जैसा मैंने दिखा के रखा है ऊपर. अभी आप और स्क्रीन को नहीं देखेंगे, अपने बुक को देखेंगे, ठीक है? So the current is in the upward direction. I लिख दो उसको बेटा, right? I beside it, right? If you have another pencil or pen, draw the magnetic field arrow and take it from left to right. Yeah, that's your I. Now make the magnetic field arrow. Yeah. So I believe all of you have a right angle now with you, with the base as B and the altitude as I. Have all of you done that? Done that? Right? So in your book, how is the thing? In your book, the magnetic field is flowing from your left arm to the right arm. Don't look at the screen. Look onto your book now. In your book, the magnetic field is going from the left arm to the right arm. Do you agree? And the current is going from south to north. Is the current going from south to north? Yes. Now first, पहले ऐसे मत करते रहो एबेकस के बच्चे की तरह, ऐसा मत करो. आप जस्ट अपना फॉर्मेशन लो, पिस्तौल बनाओ पहले, right? And first take, and do you know how to read the pistol? F, B, I. First try to align B. Just align this finger. No, in the format. Keep you can't break the format of your hand. Need not lie on this, so you can be above this. See, many a times you'll be doing on the book. Book se thoda upar karo na. It doesn't need to be parallel. Just align the B. In your position of aligning the B, is your I as per the eye of the diagram? No. Then try a permutation in which your eye goes as per the diagram. Has it?
Yeah.
Then tell me which direction is your thumb pointing? To the floor of the room. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it to the floor for everyone? If not, don't hesitate. Let's do it once again. First, make your formation. Make your formation. And align the B. Just align the B. That is your index finger. Align the B. Is the current going as per the direction? No. Then you change your hand in such a manner that the current, you can rotate this. और अगर घर में नहीं होता है ना, take 3 pens, किसी तरह weld करो, कुछ करो और तीनों को एक साथ ऐसे जोड़ लो. And you can take that as a model. Cobbler के anvil के जैसा. Cobbler's anvil you have seen now, that's 3. Now you rotate in such a manner, I think this is the rotation. And your thumb should go down. But this way, the problem will be what you know. You will forget what is F, what is B, what is I. So form your finger. Karo, do it. Form the, and don't do it here, Zoe. Lift your hand. Make it perpendicular right now with your table. Make it perpendicular. Align your B. Align the B first. But this finger is coming this side. Your current, yeah, that's fine. Current, turn this finger this side. This side. Now where's the thumb going? Down. So the conductor goes to the ceiling. Have you understood? Can you try a reverse permutation, which will be a little bit easier now? Okay, what do? Draw an arrow downwards. Draw an arrow downwards, which is your current. Your current is coming from Kashmir to Tamil Nadu. Current from Kashmir to Tamil Nadu. हजार बनाना क्या जाता है? Current is coming from Kashmir to Tamil Nadu. Agreed? Now forget the conductor. You just play with the arrows. Make an arrow, Kashmir to Tamil Nadu. Right? Make the magnetic field from Gujarat to Nagaland. थोड़ा geography भी सीख लो. Make the magnetic field from Gujarat to Nagaland. Yeah. हो गया? अब आप खुद देखिए आपका कंडक्टर कैसे घूमना चाहिए. Yeah, Vivan. Now you make it from the tail. Yes. What did you do in this orientation? You reverse the current. You maintain the same magnetic field. So your thumb has to point towards the sky now. Otherwise you are wrong. As simple as that. आ रहा है? जबरदस्ती नहीं, करके देखो. In your case, it will be like this. Your magnetic field is same from Gujarat to Nagaland, and the index, the middle finger will be towards you because it is coming to Tamil Nadu. So the force is on the skyward side. Have you understood?
Yeah.
Watch this video again. There are many animated videos on YouTube which might make it much more easier for you. Please watch those videos also. Now the question is, how will they ask us questions on this? If you are very lucky, they may ask you a question like this. But they will give you questions in what manner? They will say, a stream of alpha particles. क्या बोलेगा आपको? A stream of alpha particles. Now here we will test your chemistry knowledge. They'll say a stream of alpha particles are going in this direction, right? And or say in this direction. What do you say? In this direction. And magnetic field is in this direction. That is B. Alpha particle bola hai khali aapko, huh? Magnetic field is in this direction. How do you expect the alpha particles to bend? Now for that we have to first understand what is this bala called alpha particle. This we had told you in grade 9. Alpha particle is doubly charged helium nucleus. Basically they are positively charged particles. They can constitute a current.
Yeah.
Now all these currents which you have studied as I, current is the flow of, but the conventional direction of current is always opposite to the flow of electrons. So if you are showing current in this direction, how is the electron going? The electron will go this side. So how should a proton or a positive particle go? So how should the alpha particle go? तो अल्फा अगर इस साइड जा रहा है तो करंट यही है, ये घुमाएगा आपको. Then they may say a stream of beta particles बोल देगा आपको. What is beta particle? Electron with negative mass, zero mass and negative charge. So if beta particles are going in this direction, it means electrons are going in this direction. That means current is in this direction. और यही केस आपके एग्जाम में आएगा, क्योंकि जैसे ही बीटा पार्टिकल बोलेगा बच्चा करंट को बीटा के डायरेक्शन में ले लेगा. गलती तो वही हो गया, और कुछ नहीं घुमा सकता है. And if you are that dumbo idiot that you don't know how to make this अखियों से गोली मारे combination, so you practice this a lot, you can get wrong. And if they give you conductors like this, see, this is the concept of electric motor, not in your syllabus. You don't need to know this, but we can make a conceptual question out of this. That this arm goes this side, this arm goes this side. So when two forces act in opposite direction, they constitute what is in mechanics we call a couple. और couple हमेशा rotate करता है. Steering wheel, ये हाथ ऊपर उठाता है तो ये हाथ नीचे लाता है. T wrench, एक हाथ इधर जाता है तो एक हाथ इधर. Washing tap, thumb pushes this side, so the finger pushes. That's called a couple. A couple will always rotate something. ये जो IKEA में आप ऐसे घूमते हो ना, ऐसे करके, somebody is pushing from that side. That's a couple. That's why you rotate. So the motor also rotates on a couple. Motor is not there in your syllabus. Don't cry about it. They will not use the word motor. They may give you a diagram like this and tell you, identify the rotation. एक ऐसे दे देगा A, B में उल्टा एक देगा diagram, C, D, none of the above. बस बच्चा का एक ऐसा टाइप, एक अल्फा और बीटा में. In many pre-board questions you'll get this. Alpha particle, beta particle. Another way they can say alpha particles are always streaming in this direction and a freely suspended magnet is brought. वैसे कम ही देता है, magnet fixed रहेगा and alpha particle. So which direction the particles will sway? Any question anyone has, please do not hesitate. This topic cannot be understood in one class unless and until you practice. Please practice. If possible, go to Google, type Fleming's left-hand rule combination worksheet. हाँ, बढ़ के आएगा. They'll give you many cases with key, worksheet with key. They may not be CBSE, they may be some GCSE or ICSE or Cambridge or something, whatever. You just take the worksheet with key and you try to fit this. एक और प्रैक्टिस करके देखें उल्टा वाला। चलो उल्टा वाला एक करके देखते हैं। आओ अपने बुक में अभी ड्रॉ करना, मेरे ड्रॉ करने के बाद है। सो द डायग्राम नाउ इज something like this. ओके इसको करने की कोशिश कीजिए। दिस इज बी, this is I. Draw on your book and try to find which side should be your motion. Draw on your book, on your book. Don't try to do this. This I will solve. You will all solve with me. First solve it on your book, on the plane of your book. This is B, this is I. First job is what? First is form the revolver. First form the revolver. Align B first. Align I. Did you get it? Can you call your answer? Which side do you see your conductor moving? Towards the ceiling, outwards from the paper. You will say, how do you write that answer now? You'll say, no, normally upwards to the plane of the paper. What will you write? Normally upwards to the plane of your paper. और उसको ऐसे ड्रॉ नहीं करेंगे आदिया, उसको वैसे ड्रॉ नहीं करते हैं, ये अपवर्ड्स नहीं होगा। अपवर्ड्स ड्रॉ करने के लिए यहाँ पे एरो ड्रॉ करो, ऐसे 360 ऐसे, just draw it like a V out here, not this way, like this. It shows upwards. It gives you a feel that it is coming outwards, right? So on my table, on my screen, how is it? Let's do on our screen. On my screen, it is like this, like this. So it is coming out of the screen. So if you are supposed to write it on your screen, how will you write? Normally outwards from the screen. How do you write it? Normally upwards from the screen. So how do I mention normally outwards? I will show it like this. It is coming out from the screen. ऐसे भी दिखा सकते हैं, ये नीचे से भी दिखा सकते हैं, ये ज्यादा बेटर होता है आई थिंक ऐसे। Normally outwards from the screen. It's coming out from the screen. Understood? I think now you all are done. One more, बनाओ। One more. इसको उल्टा कर लो, थोड़ा ऐसे करो भी। Do it like this. हाँ फैंसी करते हैं ना। ये B है, ठीक है? And okay. Now this is B. Little bit you wanted fancy ना? चलो fancy करते हैं। And I is coming out of the board. Now try to do. Did you understand what we are trying to do? This is B, and I is coming out of your paper. Means I is towards the ceiling. B is to downwards, and I is towards the ceiling. अभी move लगाओगे हाथ में। Then you write, how will you write your answer? To the right of the paper, if it is right. I have not yet checked. So how is the orientation? B is downwards. So B is downwards. And how is I? I is coming out of the paper. Absolutely right. It is coming towards the right of your paper. Hands will twist and pain. Already started, everyone? Oh, not so easy, boy. Young Sheldon. The teacher said, you know, there's a group project work for Sheldon, and Sheldon doesn't like group work. So he said, how about, Professor, that I do the work and put the names of the others on the project work? Yeah, when not in the it was before the college. Yeah, I do it all. No. My best characters are Mimo and Missy. I just love them. Done? Understood? तो इसको निकाले? Fleming's left-hand rule. So what did you learn? First, you learned about current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field, external magnetic field, experiences of force. You can vary the force, and as students of science, we should be understanding what is the direction. So there are two inputs, rather one is an output. So all three are of our quest in the order of FBI. FBI. F by the thumb, B by the index finger, and I by the middle finger. Align your fingers in such a way, but the left hand, not the right hand. Fleming का right hand rule भी है, बिल्कुल इसी तरह ही है, उसमें भी FBI है, लेकिन वो उल्टा चीज बताता है. That is on electromagnetic induction, not this chapter. Magnetism is all about, but electromagnetic induction है ही नहीं ना. And I don't know. I know you don't learn that. And then the last part of your chapter, which is this much in NCRT, I don't know why they introduced it. That is called domestic wiring. And all they have taught you is wiring, which used to happen in our houses when I was in grade 3 or 4. सब बकवास है वो सब, लेकिन पहले चैप्टर के मुताबिक पढ़ा देते हैं, फिर आपको रियल लाइफ वायरिंग भी कैसा होता है वो भी बता देता है. That's absolutely very, very outdated stuff. So it says, children, do we have time? Little bit of time, थोड़ा सा एक और क्लास ले लेंगे, कोई बात नहीं. Okay, now this topic is all about domestic wiring. How wirings happen in your house. Okay, so in domestic wiring, all we have is we should have a house. पहले तो एक घर बनाते हैं, घर के बिना तो होगा नहीं. So a triangle. So we have a triangle. So fine. So we have a house. Right. अभी इसको भी बनाओ मत, पहले देख लो. ये आपका बुक में छोटा सा पैराग्राफ है, 5 मिनट लगता है सीखने के लिए. But that is all obsolete. But still, we will see the way they have explained. So this is your house. There will be a utility service provider, like your distribution company. So the distribution company in proper language is called the DISCOM. DISCOM means the distribution company. Transcom is the transmission company. So the DISCOM is going to feed electricity to your house, right? We'll go as per the book first. Okay, what does the book say? That in your house there will be always 3 colors of wire to show 3 different signals. So the first signal that we have is called the phase signal. Okay, that is usually denoted by red. So we will have something called a red wire which will enter your house, and this red wire is always named as the phase. क्या बोलते हैं इसको? Phase means this is the hot wire. इसको पकड़ लिया तो लाइव जिंगा लाला. Okay, this is the hot wire. Along with that, you will have a black wire also. So the black wire is called the neutral. I don't know, is the black visible to you all children online? Okay, wow. पैसा खर्चा करने से अच्छा चीज ही दिखता है. ठीक है? So this is, the black is known as the neutral. Okay, the black is known as the neutral. And then there will be a third wire also, which is green in color, and that is known as your ground or the earth wire. This is known as your ground or earth. हाँ, वो बाद में, वो येलो वाला समझने के लिए मॉडर्न चीज पढ़ना पड़ेगा. So these are the 3 minimum wires that you need to light up any device. Now if you ask as a Jugaru electrician, he will tell the green is also not required. Only between the red and black you can, yeah, all 2-pin devices have got 2 pins only, right? So if you see your socket board at house, so your socket board is something like this. So the green wire is always joined here, all right? The live wire is always joined here, and the neutral is always joined here, which gives you the formation which is known as the ELN, earth, live, neutral. Okay, this is how it happens. If you put a AC voltmeter across these two, if I put a voltmeter across these two, in India this will read something from 220 to 240 volts, sufficient to fry you. Okay, if you actually put a voltmeter between these two also, then also you should see your reading as 220 to 240 volts, and this is alternating current, pulsating current. Okay, and if your connection in the house is very good and you put a voltmeter between these two, you should read 0 volt. अगर इसके बीच में voltage आ रहा है, that is bad. That means current is leaking in your house. In our house, that can never happen because we have a device called RCCB which will immediately trip if this thing happens. One day we'll show you live also. अगर आपने जबरदस्ती यहाँ पे करंट छोड़ दिया तो वो ट्रिप कर जाएगा आपका. हाँ, ठीक है? So it will trip. Understood? Now this electricity is provided to you by a DISCOM. So what they will do is that they will put something which is known as the utility meter out here. So you'll first have, I'm drawing it with freehand, but it makes it faster. So we will have our energy meter. Energy meter. As a consumer in India or as long as it's a private or a public distribution company, we are getting out all from government. Like in Delhi, in Bombay, you have BSES, Reliance Power. Those are private. You have no authority to touch the meter. Your authority is only after the meter. Meter you cannot touch. Meter is something these people will come, calibrate and set and go. That's called tampering, punishable offense. All you will touch is after this, right? So our story starts, what happens when these three wires enter my house? How much time I have? I have less time, but let's continue. These three wires are entering my house. Okay. So earth, live and neutral have entered my house. And sorry. So I have live, neutral and earth. These three have entered. And since only one phase wire is coming, this used to be in our your ancestral home or our childhood homes, which we call as single phase supply. Nowadays in homes, that is why I call these as obsolete. In homes that we are staying right today, wahan pe aata hai three phase supply. And what you said, Sarthak, that sometimes it is yellow, those three phases will be in RYB combination, red, yellow, blue. So our combination of wiring is called three phase 4 wire system. ये सब high level है, आपको जानने की जरूरत नहीं. 4 wire, why? You have got a neutral also. हाँ? Green को अर्थ को दिया गया है ना. Green is always earth. That is how you should learn. See, for an if you, it comes that sir, अगर हम ये वायर को यहाँ कलर में यूज करें तो कर सकते हो. अशिक्षित अनपढ़ गंवार इलेक्ट्रिशियन की तरह. अगर आपने साइंस पढ़ा है तो आप ग्रीन को ग्रीन. See what you know what they will do, what people do to save money. I have faced this. The flat right above me, you know, they don't stay here anymore. So they gave me the keys and said there is 1 or 2 fault. Can you just check once? I said good. You don't need an electrician. I said you'll save money. So I opened up their switchboard. After opening up the switchboard, when the builder hands you in our society, it's extremely properly wired as per code, as per engineering. Not only that, the builder also has beads on these wires. There will be beads. Beads मतलब माला में जैसे रहता है ना, ऐसे beads रहते हैं इसमें. ऐसे beads रहेंगे. Oh, there will be beads out here. ऐसे ऐसे beads लगा रहेंगे. It will be written 34. And on your distribution box, you see bead number 34. You know that this wire is this wire. आपको कैसे पता which wire is coming here? And there will be this. Then what do you do? After buying your flat, you'll give it to some interior decorator. They will hire electricians. Everyone wants to cut down cost. This electrician, he will do what? Instead of buying 3 spools of wire, he will buy 1 spool of wire. 3 में कटेगा ना? 3 unused. Will you cook from 3 packets of salt? No. You'll cook it only from 1 packet. So he'll bring 1 wire of green color. And what he will do? He will spend 10 rupees and buy 3 tapes of different color. And suppose this is the green wire which is supposed to be red. He will put a red tape here and a red tape here. हाँ, रमेश, पर देख ला लाल वाली फेज है, but that is green. लाल वाली फेज है. अब वो क्या करेगा इसमें? देखो अभी तो टाइम नहीं है, नहीं सीख सकते. तो देखो अभी वो क्या करेगा? यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा ग्रीन टेप लगा लेगा, यहाँ पे ग्रीन टेप. समझ में आया? ये लाल वाली अर्थ है. And when he will fit it, he will chop it from here. यहाँ से cramp करेगा, and he will fit it. And this red tape, this green tape is gone. 3 years later, a person like me enters that flat and opens the switchboard, and he finds all the wires are red. I'm so enthusiastic of doing this work. Literally, first time I had headache in his house, and I said everything is red. So much that I now need 2 persons to this job. I called another guy, and the whole day, one day, we are just testing which lead is which. But when the flat is handed to you, you people just switch on lights and you'll put a Facebook post, externally done and this and this and this. But whereas engineering has gone for a toss. It's gone for a toss. That's the difference between you and how a chappal. But the chappal guy will come, and since he does this crap job everywhere, वो 1 मिनट में इसको काटेगा. हाँ मैडम हो गया, आपका लगा दिया wires. During COVID, I visited 4 or 5 houses of our family friends. Everyone used to have this, hey Google, turn the light off. So the light just go off. So nobody is there for support. So they used to call and they said, company is not coming. Bhaiya, please on kara dijiye. So I used to take out that system because it has to run. First of all, it's a mask on my face, mask on that person or that lady's face. What she's saying, after opening it, I see only blue wires inside. Because you imagine this much wire is 5 meters, so you need a 5 red, 5 blue, sorry, 5 black and 5 green. So you need 3 spools. What that fellow will do, he will buy a 1000-meter red spool. उसी से काटते काटते करता जाएगा. आप किसी भी जो वहां पे घर बन रहा है ना, आप जाके देखिए, ऐसे इतना वायर निकला रहेगा, नीचे से टेप लगा रहेगा, और मैं खींच रहे फेज है. So our story ends here. These 3 wires have entered our house. So in our flats, what enters nowadays? This enters, and 3 phase wires enter. But your NCERT is backdated, grandfather day. So according to them, 1 enters, but here 3 enters. Right? So we'll carry on from here in the next class.